Good recovery in both the markets. Stalkers, welcome back. DFM market index is up by more than 2%. This is the daily chart. Let's analyze this one. In yesterday's sell-off, we saw market was down by more than 4%. Today we are seeing a green recovery candle almost at 50% of this red candle's range. So this gives us a good evidence that buyers are interested, buyers are in the market and they are very active. That's the reason we are seeing this bounce. Otherwise, most likely we were expecting a continuation to the downside because of the international scenarios. Anyways, looking at the current candle close, there are very good chances it may continue its upside momentum. Look at this, exactly at the previous support zone that was at 4,140 points. This was the support area. Today when market was trying to break out this zone, it got rejected. We are seeing a small wick at the top indicating rejection. Still, we are not seeing any major decline from this zone, so we can give benefit of doubt. Most likely from here we are expecting a run till about 4,200 points. That was previously a strong resistance. Market took a pause here before breaking this out. It came back for a retest and from here it made a new high. So this is gonna be a strong resistance area between 4,185 to 4,200 points. There are good chances tomorrow market may make a pause candle or it can continue upside momentum and take a pause around this area, as this is a strong resistance zone. Many of the stocks today opened with a gap up and they closed positive, whereas there were some stocks in which we saw a perfect bull trap scenario. So I hope you have avoided them and you have caught some stocks that were performing very well today. The reason I mentioned DFM market index performed well today is because we saw 50% recovery of previous days decline, whereas in ADX market we are seeing market has recovered by more than 1%, but the recovery is not around 50% range of previous candles drop. So we can see some weakness in ADX market. We can see a bit longer wick at the top of the candle. This indicates resistance is at 9,120 area. Still, this is good. At least we are seeing some recovery coming in very next day onwards. Otherwise, as I just mentioned, there were very good chances market would go down further. At least market has closed green. What can happen from here is, if 9,120 is acting as a resistance, there are good chances tomorrow it may make a pause candle and then make a move to the upside. If sentiments are positive, if at all there is any positive development in international markets, then definitely this zone will be taken out, that is 9,160, which should be marked on your chart as resistance zone. Once this is taken out, we will see market coming to hit 9,245, and hopefully after the recovery we will be back again at this zone, that is around 9,350. In that scenario, market would have recovered 100%. Overall, ADX market also gave us some good opportunities. Many of the stocks opened with a gap up and they have survived too. Even in ADX market, there were some stocks they tried to climb up during the day but got resisted at resistance zone and they have given out almost all of their gains. Let me give you good examples. One of the stock that is looking quite positive for tomorrow is Emaar Development. Today it opened with a gap up. This was yesterday's sell-off due to the panic, and this is the gap area that it had created. Today's closing is at 8.04. There are very good chances it may continue its upside run. It may go up to fill up this gap that will now potentially act as a resistance. Once this gap is filled out, then market will decide whether it wants to go sideways from here, establish a base into this zone, and then revisit 8.65 area that was previously a resistance zone. But for tomorrow, I'm not expecting a gap down. If that happens, then buyers who bought into this stock yesterday will be discouraged, and there are chances either it may go sideways or come down for a correction again. Obviously, because those who bought today will be disappointed, they will be seeing losses, so they will try to cut out their position at least at break even or at minimal losses. But overall, Emaar Development is looking good for tomorrow. One of the stock that gave away almost all the gains is DSI, that is Drake and Skull. I'm on the daily chart. It opened on a positive scenario with a huge gap up, as most of the stocks did. It went up during the day till about 0.386 and from here it gave away almost all the gains. Now mind you, this is the gap that it had created yesterday due to the panic scenario in the market. We saw aggressive selling happening after this gap down open. What happened today is it opened with a gap up and then it went up to fill this gap. As I mentioned, gaps will now act as a support and resistance. As it climbs up, this gap will act as a resistance. Now let me tell you the psychology. Why does this happen? Well, on this candle, that is on 2nd of August, many of the traders and investors must have bought into this candle. Very next day when it opened with a gap down, most of them must have tried to offload their positions to cut out their losses, but at the same time many must have hold their positions. So when the stock price again tries to climb up, the bag holders, those who are still holding the stock, will try to offload at minimal losses or at break-even point. So this is the reason we are seeing aggressive selling pressure right into the same zone where it was trading with this red candle, that is before this gap down. This is the psychology of buyers and sellers. Hope you understood it. So DSI obviously could not perform and sustain. We will only try and take any entries into DSI once this area of resistance is taken out and we see a solid candle close above 0.377. If this video was helpful and if you understood from this, hit the like button to show your support. For more updates on Dubai and Abu Dhabi stock market, subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching. Keep stocking.